Welcome to another presentation in the Quantum Human Summit series. I am so pleased and honored to introduce all of you to an award-winning composer and sound healing musician, 8-time music winner of the Global Music Award. Carla Rose Kelly is here with us, and today we're talking about abundance and how we can create abundance with music. Hi, Carla. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Good. Thank you so much, Lauren. Great to be here with you.
You actually call this music medicine, which that is so beautiful. Tell us how you got started in this field of working with music medicine.
Okay. I grew up as a musician playing the piano and always noticed how it was affecting my family and myself emotionally and socially. Even noticed differences in school. Um, And then as I progressed through my musical training, I noticed that with my own students coming in, when I became a piano teacher, how it would affect their emotional levels. Um, so I started to do research and got the approval from Canada to do formal research on humans with music medicine. And so I had 120 people come in for a research project, and I played them music for an hour at a time, a week apart. And I had a formal researcher, Julia McKinley, do the data processing and research analysis. And it came out very powerful, more powerful than medication. Um, and had long-lasting effects as well. I did do a lot of training in energy healing to understand how energy moves within the body, and just kind of pulling what I knew from music and energy healing together, and kept studying and studying. And yeah, it's a fascinating field, and feel really privileged to have a beautiful clientele that I work on. I do private and group sessions online and in person as well in my home. And excuse me. Yeah, so now I'm just starting to train people to become music medicine specialists like myself. So that's very exciting for them and for all the people that they'll help.
I absolutely love that, Carla, because you are actually part of this new field of medicine that is affecting mainstream medicine the way that it is. And it's so beautiful that it comes through music. And I love that you've got just so much support out there, that you come from piano and music theory. That really is remarkable, because that would be the so-called science behind it. And so your feeling with playing the piano and witnessing how that made you feel was really important. And you are absolutely living your mission. You continue to
Mhm.
expand and grow. And you actually work with the solfeggio frequencies as well. Tell us about that, because does that come into part of the music medicine?
It sure does, Lauren. Yes. Uh, way back, I came home from a chiropractic appointment, and I was nice and clear. And this voice, my higher self voice, told me, draw this instrument, this little harp, and to put these 9 exact frequencies on it. I didn't really know anything about them at the time. So then I drew it. I did what I was told, basically. And then the voice said, you have to find somebody to make this instrument. So a few days later, we were at a folk festival in the park, and there was a luthier there that made harps, and he was willing to make this harp for me, and so I started using it in my practice. I had to do research on the frequencies because I had no idea what they were. And apparently, Dr. Pulio from Idaho in the US had decoded these frequencies from the book of Numbers in the Bible. They were hidden there for over 2,000 years. And then through the knowledge of numerology from 6 numbers hidden there that he decoded, he found the last 3. So when you understand that music is vibration, the universe is vibration, so music is the medium that you can bring the wisdom, the all-knowing wisdom of the workings of the universe together through music. And a lot of what I've learned has come through music for me. And that's what I teach in my music medicine program. But yeah, fascinating how, they over in history they would hide things, right? They would hide different pieces of information. So you've got the little stories about how if someone was needing help with something physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual way back over 2,000 years ago, you had someone like physician, a music physician. So you wouldn't, it's equivalent to today's sound healer or music medicine specialist, but you didn't have doctors. You would have called someone like they called David in the Bible. So this music physician would come and play, and it was a harp, a small little, lap harp type of instrument, lute, and the ills would be cured. So whatever you were going through, this is who you would call, right? It was a music physician, probably not called that, but I'm just equating it to what we know today for music medicine. And then over time, the information was hidden because probably people were becoming too powerful, um, ascending, I would think, as they were healing with this kind of information. Um, so it was hidden in little pieces here and there throughout the Bible and different places. And to have that, through divine intervention, Dr. Pulio it was time, I think, the stars were aligning. He had, that divine intervention guiding him to these frequencies. And then it was just a little bit later that voice was telling me, okay, draw this harp, put the 9 frequencies on it. Then I did all this research about what are these 9 frequencies and how do they work? What do they mean? And yeah, fascinating working with them because once I had the harp made, I would use it in my practice and I would ask the clients, what did you feel? Like, of course, as a practitioner, you have your own experience and then your clients have their own experience. And sometimes there's commonality and sometimes they're very different. So I learned so much just from their experiences and from what they were telling me, the healing was much faster. It was much faster with the 9 solfeggio frequencies. What I also found was that some clients weren't ready for it and some were. So it was I would always wait. I would be guided. What do I use? Do I use the piano? Do I use the harp, the solfeggio harp? Do I use a drum? Like it was always guided in for different things.
That is so amazing. I find it really amazing that you received the information And the information was those nine frequencies. Were they spot
Mhm.
on or were they close or they were spot on? And so when you went and did the research, you were like, oh, these have a name.
Right. And they had been out there for a while. Yeah. So that was fascinating.
That is multi-dimensional.
It
That,
really is. Yeah.
wow.
And the
Have you
stars
ever
align, right? It was time now to bring them back out. Before that, it wasn't, right? The world wasn't ready for it.
Have you ever considered that you had a past life working with these frequencies? I'm getting chills just thinking of
Oh,
because
absolutely.
for
Yeah,
you
I
to
get chills
get
too.
that, okay, for you to get the wisdom like that,
Mm,
straight spot on, and
right.
then in hindsight, you go and you do the research, and there you find out that, oh, these are the solfeggio frequencies. They have a name, they were hidden in the Bible. Absolutely, it was a past life. Maybe you were a
Yeah.
medicine physician.
I wonder about that. I know that when I was doing the research, Lauren, I just cried.
Oh, yes. Oh,
It was like, oh my gosh. It there was if I was one of the people that needed to hide it or was
wow.
burned up and killed for the information or whatever that was, but it was clearly very intense emotional healing that needed to be done, along with the bringing it back forth into um, awareness and, yeah, being able to use it again, I guess. And it was a feeling safe to use it was the big one. So I assume that I was probably killed in past times for the wisdom, for the gifts and talents of the healing techniques the with the music, because once I did a lot of affirmations and healing that I am safe, I can do this. There was a lot of confidence issues that it opened it up with all kinds of healing techniques for whatever came in. It didn't matter, physical, mental, emotional, and quite severe things. To like, we're not just talking about a little sore thumb or something. The people with cancer were coming in, or scoliosis, severe mental, disorders and things like that. And when you've got the divine bringing in the technique to use, and you're playing these nine solfeggio chords, like you can lay the harp right onto the body, right? So they're on the massage table, and you can put it on their chest. You can have them have it on their legs. You can have them roll over and you can play it on their back. So it could be healing some past times. That's what I realized was happening. Whether they would be, it would be on the front, would be about them going forward, what was in their life now. And if I was guided to have them turn over on their back, it would be healing something from their past. So,
Wow, that is really remarkable. It's so amazing. And there's something about it's not just a tone, like that can be computer generated tones that can make the solfeggios. This is from a harp string, which is very similar to a piano string, right? It's the same thing. Am I correct?
yes, and there's something very beautiful about a wooden instrument, and it's acoustic, it's not electronic. Most of sound healing or music medicine instruments are in fact acoustic. Although I do use an electric keyboard, and that can, with the right settings, you have to be careful what you choose there. But yeah, they all have a different way of touching different parts of the body and doing specific things for the healing.
That is so amazing. And talk about the heart connection with a harp, because when we hear harp, even if it's a crystal harp, there's something about that that is definitely heart opening. Do you relate the piano or the harp with the heart center?
I a lot of the my knowledge is from feedback from my clients and what I see in sessions. Um, so the piano tends to heal all parts of the body, doesn't matter where. The harp, along with, if you were playing something with a violin, it's about the strings. It does go right to the heart center. Um, yeah, it's profound in the way it gets deep in there. Of course, music penetrates through the skin, through the bones, down into, deep into a cellular level, DNA level. And the practitioner, I'm centered in love with every breath. It's a meditative focus, right? So the power of love, and then breathing in light for the guidance and how to play it and which technique, and it gets right in there, very deep in a heart center. It's quite profound.
Well, congratulations for creating the music medicine practitioner program and leading that way for others to step into this. Again, you are a change maker and you are a new earth leader. It really is wonderful. It really is. It's just
You.
so exquisite. I just love it so much.
Thank
And
you so much, Lauren. It feels like such an honor and privilege to like be able to bring that wisdom in, and um yeah, to be able to do what I do. And when someone lies on my table, they're handing over their everything, their physical, mental, emotional, spiritual being to me. And so, with great respect and honor, I feel very privileged to be able to, assist them with whatever they're going through.
wow. And so that is the whole gamut of what someone could come to you for. And again, the experiences that your clients have will become the testimonials for science and for medicine itself. Have you had doctors, clients of yours that go to a doctor and the doctor's like, "What have you been doing? Because you're
Yes.
great." And what's that like? What's happened there?
Yeah. Well, as you know, some doctors are open to that or some aren't. So it depends who they see. Um, but even more open people like chiropractors, if my clients are, they have a session with me and then they go to the chiropractor the next week, the chiropractor will call me and say, oh my gosh, what did you do to them, because they've gone up a level. There's so much like deep, she could see there was so much deep healing, because you can keep um aligning and adjusting, have them come every week. And then, but to get to a really deep healing level, you need to get in there somehow, right? Right to the root cause. And that's exciting. I love that part of it, where there's actually access to get to that deep layer when the client's ready for it, of course. So I've worked with a number of people over the years that are healing all of their karma now. Um, and we get to the root cause of everything that comes up. I send them home with some homework to do if they're open to that. And it's basically, thinking or saying affirmations that have come up for why, what we found out at the root cause. So you can reprogram, right? Then get the neuroplasticity going in between sessions. And now there's a few of my clients that are so highly vibrational, it almost all the karma's gone, which that's what we want. That's what we want to do. That's why we're here having this human experience, right? Is to redo it again. What are you going to do with it this time as the stars align? And then, work through all those karmic layers and just live in love and light.
Again, it is such tremendous, remarkable work that you're doing, and we just congratulate you on all of it. And I know that in the future, more of as you do your work and continue to expand and teach others how to use this and put it out in the world, that it's going to come back, and so there's big things that are going to happen for you in this field. It's really wonderful. And so, as we're here, we're doing a big cleanup job in this lifetime, right? We're doing the big cleanup job. And one of the biggest things that we need to clean up on is our belief system around money and abundance. And so that leads us to what we're talking to in this program. And I know that a lot of people want this, it's people are like, okay, I'm ready for the abundance. I'm ready for new earth prosperity. We know that wealth and prosperity is a birthright. So how do we get there? So then what are you doing? How are we using creating abundance with music medicine? How is that working?
Well, some of my clients have homework like, I am worthy, right? And see, what happens with music is the whole brain lights up all at once. It's the only medium in the whole world that we know of that does this, um, to illuminate all parts of the brain all at once. So when you're, you can think affirmations, you can say them, but when you progress to the point where you're ready to sing them, then even if just sing it to yourself and you can sing in your mind, right? You're still lighting up the brain. We know that from our science with music medicine, that's what's actually happening. So for neuroplasticity, that's what you want to do, is to reprogram your brain, all the beliefs, right? The old beliefs that we've come in with to heal. And there's a lot of them around abundance, not just feeling worthy, but, safe to have money. I want to have money. You think about where we've come from. We've come from, our ancestors were part of tribes, right? We've come from tribal communities where everyone worked together, and no one had more than another. You were really surviving and relying on each other. The whole group brought up the children together, and you went out hunting and gathering together, and you cooked together, and so on. Your survival depended on everyone in your group working together, and you shared all your resources. Excuse me. So you come forward to, 2024, and we've literally just turned into the age of Aquarius. And so now it's all about people like working collaboratively and collectively still, but you can be unique, and you can grow your gifts and talents. You have that freedom to do that. You're not confined to the tribe that you were in, and you may have money and then you feel guilty for having it, right? When your neighbor doesn't, you feel this push and pull of, well, can I keep up with the Joneses? Or you have things and you feel that you have to share it. You don't want to hang on to it because you are programmed pre-life that you have to share it. So money comes in and you push it away. You're giving it to someone you see doesn't have it. Um, so there's issues with taking what our ancestors through our DNA we've brought in, through the paternal and maternal lines and adjusting with new beliefs. And then we've got that whole religious part of our ancestry where we were part of we were maybe a disciple or a priest or nuns or something where we were in a monastery, right? And everybody shaved their heads, they wore the same robe, they ate the same dinner, they gave up all of their worldly goods and possessions, all the money. So you lived a very simple life, and it was thought of that it was ungodly to even have things. So you take and no one was invited to have any like sort of special standout skills either. Everybody was very uniform. It wasn't really welcome to stand out, right, in the crowd. You were part of a very simple life then. So again, coming forward to 2024, and so you need money, you need material, you want a home, you want to have stylish clothes and haircuts and things that help you to be unique, be your unique self. And that's spiritually what we need to do is find our unique self, because within our unique self, we have our unique gifts and talents. And it's through that that you're going to earn a living, right? And then there's all of the if I have all of these material things, will God love me? Will I be accepted? Because you're programmed. So it takes a lot of neuroplasticity, you know, um, diving into that subconscious layer that these old beliefs are even in, because sometimes we're not even aware, right, that these old beliefs are there until we start seeing the pattern, right? Every time you go to pay for something, you've got all this fear of not having enough, or someone's giving you a paycheck and you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to have this, I have to hand it over to the church, or all of those old beliefs and thought forms that we have to now heal. So they're in that, 90% of our subconscious layers. Music can help bring those up, right? Because we have that conscious 10% of our mind that we're, active during the day. And then this 90% hold all these old beliefs. So even having one of them interferes with your ability to attract abundance into your life. They need to, excuse me, they need to be reprogrammed. So, what I do is I play music, and you can ask what is it that's in the way. Have them hold money, and you see some people start shaking, right, or they just start to cry. It's like they're not allowed to even have it or hold it. So you play the music then lights up the whole brain. So then there's the interconnectedness of all the parts of the brain simultaneously happening while you say, "Safe to have money now." Right? You sing that into their brain, into their field. It goes into the subconscious layers and starts to reprogram. You need the neurons to connect to that I'm safe to have money now, right? And the more you do of that, then those neural connections become stronger. And then the I'm not safe to have money withers away. Those neural connections then wither away. So the more you practice, you strengthen, right? And then they come back for a session, and then what's the next layer of it, right? Maybe God will still love me if I do have money. I'll be accepted, right? I can be spiritual and still have money, however you look at that. But there's many old programming that needs to be redone in order to open up the abundant life. But abundance is more than just money, though. Really, an abundant life is getting up in the morning and feeling that joy to go to work, not just doing a job for the money, right? How there's no abundant life in that kind of a lifestyle. Like right away, there's no happiness, there's no joy, right? So it's having joy and happiness and faith in yourself and your gifts and talents, trust in your abilities, so you're showing up for work like you do, Lauren, and I do. We're very blessed because we have connected with our soul purposes on the deepest level. And here we are talking about it, and we're both smiling through the whole thing, right? So that's a very fortunate position to be when you honor your gifts and talents, and then you wake up in the day and you express those, right? So then you have the love, you have the joy, you have that faith in yourself and the divine plan for you, because you've already connected with it. You have trust in yourself, right? And the divine plan for you. And then the money follows. It's not the reason to go to work, it follows. So that's how prosperity grows. So it's completely backwards to how, we've we've grown up.
It is. We have to do exactly the opposite. That's what I've learned. And I think each of us can look back in our in this life, not to mention other lives. But I just remember that programming going so deep where I had these new sandals and I had to give them. My mom came home and my stepdad was like, "Wait, take those back to the store. We can't afford those." And I
Mm.
was already wearing them and I had to take them back to the store and I was so sad. And
Right.
then later I was in my 40s with a girlfriend and she's like, "We're taking you out to buy shoes." And I never really cared much about shoes. But then after we go shopping, I'm looking at my feet and guess what I had on my feet? The Rainbow Sandals, almost exactly like the ones that I had as a child. And I felt so liberated right there in that moment. That was
Oh,
a real overcoming of that programming, but it had affected me all my life. I never cared for shoes. I mean, yes, we all have shoes, but not like some people who have shoes for every occasion, lots of shoes. I just was never there. So that for me was showing up and honoring myself and giving myself that gift. So I just want to share that because that was really important. And it was doing the opposite, but it was also going into that subconscious. Now you're doing it with music, which I find really fascinating because again, that's helping reprogram the mind through the science of what you're calling neuroplasticity. The neurons are rewiring, and
right.
that's beautiful. So, this goes into everything. We are so, when we look at the world and all of us, most of us, not all of us, because there's some very wealthy people that don't have that same frequency or energy. But for the majority of our planet, some do not even see the abundance of a lime tree outside or an orange tree and all the fruit, right? They're just so in the density of lack and not having it that actually gives them more lack, right? And so we have to reprogram all that too. And so, it goes so deep. Like we have to work hard for money. Like you, when I don't know if you ever, well, when you stepped outside of the traditional workforce and went out on your own, did you find that you had beliefs that you had to overcome about working hard for money, or you got to work 11 hours a day, that sort of thing? When in actuality, it's a little bit opposite of that. Like you said, when we follow our joy and our passion, the money is a byproduct. So, did you go through that yourself?
Yes, I've had many money issues to heal.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, when I was making money, right out of university, it was hard to keep it. I felt like I needed to give it all away. So there was a worthiness issue I was healing.
Wow.
Uh,
Hmm.
and of course, then what's if there's that thought form in your subconscious, it's an electromagnetic field that goes out, and you attract people that it's like, okay, well, give it to me then. So I had person after person knocking at my door with whatever fundraiser. And so the money would just go out very generously to all these causes, right? And then you're caught maybe with, you know, keeping up with your own bills, right? So you figure out the balance, and it's like, okay, let's heal this. This is not working. You should take care of yourself first. You've got to be smart about things, right? And yeah, that was just one of many different money beliefs. Working hard for your money attracts things to be hard for you. That's really important for people to understand, because we all have grown up in the era that you have to work hard for everything that you have. It actually gets in the way of your abundant life, because again, that belief hard, it's got to be hard. Then you send out that frequency. And so you attract hard opportunities that you have to work through every day. So even changing your mindset to it's easy. I make money. I can earn a living with ease and grace. And then that's what happens. Yeah, it becomes easy, easy. Hmm.
I love that. Can you take us through a little? Oh man, I want you, maybe it's a little mini session for our group, or some examples of how we can reprogram our beliefs or create these singing mantras, singing affirmations to reprogram the subconscious. If it's subconscious, how are we ever going to know that it's there, what's there?
That's right. Yeah. And with the music, the music vibrates things, like it goes through the skull, the bones, and in there, and it speaks to me. So I hear what it is,
Wow.
like in just a single word, like worthy or something, or um, the hard. I have to work hard, like different things like that. Um, did you want to do that today, or would we come back on and at another time to do it?
Wow. Maybe this is a whole class that we could do for people, like a course, a mastery empowerment course.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it would be
because it's
deep,
very
very,
involved.
very
Yeah.
expensive.
Do it for, I could do it for 20, 30 minutes and really get in there for people, and be playing the music and singing it, and they could sing it back or not, or just listen. But yeah, that would be fabulous. Hmm.
Okay, so stay tuned, everyone. We'll work on that offline. That sounds really wonderful. People really want that. But you also have sessions. You do personal sessions where this is the focus. And that one-on-one attention is a lot more powerful than the group intention, although it's all good. But this is wonderful. So tell us about what happens in a personal session.
Okay, well, I live in Fernie, BC, Canada. So if you live close by, you could come in person, or you come online with me, and you would just lie on, say you were online, you would just lie on your own bed or couch. You could tell me whatever you wanted to or not. The music's going to reveal what I need to work on that day anyways. So some people tell me, they'll talk for 20 minutes and tell me all kinds of things. That's fine. Some people are a little bit more private, so that's fine as well. And then I just start playing the music, and different things will come up. They reveal themselves because vibrationally the music goes in and it vibrates what's not from a place of love or high vibration to the surface. That's how it works. I'm centered in love, and I play that love into your body, so it's non-discriminatory. It just goes through your whole body all at once, right? You're hearing it, it's going into the brain, but it's penetrating skin and bones everywhere in your whole energy field, as well as through the entire body. And then whatever is the most prevalent issue will be then vibrated. The love goes in with the music, and then whatever isn't of love, like unworthiness, let's say, that would be vibrated to the surface or just to my awareness, even. And then I could start singing into it, you know, you're worthy, blessed and loved. It's safe to have money, or whatever they need, whatever they need. And then once that is healed for the amount that they're willing to go to to show me that day, then a new issue will be the next priority. And then I just sing into that. So I'm doing the neuroplasticity for them, and it happens very quickly, right? With because again, what I mentioned earlier about the whole brain being lit up all at once and the parts are being connected. Um, and then usually a session is about an hour. Some people book 2 hours. Rate. I've done a 5 hour session with someone who, was in a bit of a crisis. So there's anything in between. The more you go in, the deeper you can go. So it's whatever the person wants.
That is so beautiful. It's really you have incredible intuition, or you're just really tuned in
Yes.
frequency, because if you're coming from that love frequency and that vibration and you're setting that in the music, and then you're just watching or sensing, intuiting what is coming up for the person. I'm certain that there must be tears, that sort of um, love frequency. There must be tears that come up that kind of give you a tip off for what needs to come out, right?
Sometimes there's a few tears. Sometimes there's a lot of emotion that comes up. It's whatever people are going through.
Mhm.
It's good to get it out of the system, and once it's out, it's gone forever. Like it just the music, like to understand the physics of sound too, like the vibrations just take it up into the light and it's transformed. There's no end to sound waves. So once you take the old belief away and you've put the new one in of a higher vibration, it's it's gone.
That is really wonderful. Again, neuroplasticity, the scientists, when they discover this as well, they're onto it a little bit as well. I know we just got done with the Sound Healing Conference, and what happens in that research, it really is world changing. And
Mhm.
you are a world changer. It is remarkable. Thank you again. Oh my goodness. And
Thank
so,
you.
so I want to point everyone down to this webpage that you're watching this program on. There's a special offer for the music medicine healing session that Carla just spoke about. And then there's also this personal abundance code.
Mm.
This is about, please.
Okay. So we are all unique beings. We all have our natal chart, and that was the exact time, right to the minute, and the place that you were born. Again, though, that's a vibration. There's numbers there of the coordinates, right? Um, then you have um, so you have your own unique natal chart. And what I do is I go in depth. It takes me, most of a day to do deep research into it. And I look at who you are and why you're here at a deep soul level. Some people know that, like you know that you're doing what your soul is here to do. Some people don't even know yet. They're still working that job for the money. So when you open up your gifts and talents and you know specifically why you're here as a soul, then it's then that you can actually start to develop those gifts and talents into a living, right? So I read through not only just the astrology, but the numerology, because numbers are important. They're the vibration that connects heaven to earth. And so, reading through that and helping people understand their uniqueness and what they should be doing that will bring them the most joy and allow the money to follow. There's that part of it. Um, and what you need to have and flow in your life in order to attract abundant opportunities, then, right? Meeting people, the employer, the partner for business, the place that you're going to have your business or do it. There's all kinds of things that need to then line up, right? With the stars and for that process to take place. So it takes me a while to kind of sort through all that information. And then I meet online with people, and they'll have a written copy of their chart analysis for their own special abundance code. And it's different for everybody.
Okay, I know that many people are going to want that. That is wonderful. And they don't have to wait until their birthday. I mean, that's a beautiful gift that they can give themselves for their annual solar return. But this is something you can pick up and start working on at any moment. And I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just, I know, understanding my own, how much it helped me understand even how I attract love in my life, right? What I need to feel loved. That's important. Abundance is about love, having love in your life. And if you don't even know how you attract it or what you need to feel loved, how can you even, like, maybe you're putting up with something that's just okay, right? There's all these different parts of it, but understanding my own natal chart just helped me to really solidify and decide during my day, if it doesn't bring me joy anymore, I let it go, right? People, places, and things. If it's not joyful, why am I spending my time and energy, with things that are disempowering? And you could have an abundant life. And, you know, we're, you know, we're at the age that we're at. I've only got so many years left, so many, couple decades or so. I'm going to make sure that I spend all of it in the greatest place that I can spend it now, because I can, because I want to, and because I know the formula for the abundant life, and it's worth it. It's worth it. And then you attract all these wonderful people around you that show you that abundance too, right? You're always magnifying what's in here. So you're worth it.
Are worth it. Yes, I know so many people are ready for this as well. And
Mm.
it's just an all-encompassing vibration. And it really, like you said, the soul purpose. It's our soul stepping into our soul. It's almost like soul embodiment, giving ourselves permission
Yes.
to have joy, peace, and
Yeah.
love. That to me is New Earth. And that's why you are a New Earth leader. Absolutely. What you're doing is really on point for so many to help us get over the old paradigm
Mm.
once and for all and to fully
Yeah.
live the joy. Things
Right.
flow, right? Things flow when we're in joy and it's not a burden. I love how you do that. You just let go of everything that's not joyful in your life. And that's not a cop out, but it's you being immaculately aware of your vibration.
That's right. Yeah. Like even take a look at your material world. What you have in your room. Start in one room at a time. Does this match? What does this bring me joy? Is it worn out? Has it served its time? Does the color make me feel joyful? Because different colors for different people. Like, this is what I need. I want to wake up and see this every morning, and go through your closets. Everything should be that bridge between your material and spiritual world. When we talked earlier about the religion and giving it all away, well, now that we have it, it's like, does it serve a spiritual purpose for me? Like all of your clothes, it should match how you feel and what you want to portray as your unique self, and if you're dressing because, you're trying to be something else other than these little simple things, right? There's all kinds of ways to hone your abundance.
Yes. And you bring up a really interesting point. Um, if it's not giving us joy in our life and we're looking at something, get it out of there. Letting go may be hard for people.
Mhm.
Like okay, how many of us, honestly speaking, can say that we still have clothes that we bought that still have the price tag on it? Why are we holding on to that? Let's put it in a pile and give it to someone, to some place, thing, or person who could use it and look good in it. So you're bringing up something within me. Why do I hold on to certain things like that? Or, yeah, it's very interesting. So we have to let go. There's something important about letting it go, including the belief systems. Why do we hold on to those? Why do we cling? Because we're fearful of the unknown, I guess. What do you think about that?
Well, take for example, the friend or family member brings you over a gift and you're like, oh, that's nice, right? And and you feel that obligation to keep it, right? It's about the nicety that they were doing. They were thinking of you, they bring it to you, but it doesn't match it doesn't serve a spiritual purpose for you. It doesn't make you feel joyful, but you keep it out of obligation or responsibility, or you're hurting someone else's feelings if you let it go. But then you're self-sacrificing your own joy. You're looking at it every day. You've got to clean it. It's taking up space and energy. And of course, we all know that clutter is, a big, it gets in the way of our abundant life when if you want clarity, clean space.
Mm-hmm.
So having all these extra things out of that place of obligation, you're living in a self-sacrificial place. And that's what our ancestors did with the religious associations they had. It was all self-sacrificial, with repeating the same Bible verses day after day, you know, at sunrise. Like everything was very structured, and there's no flow, there's no flexibility, there's no honoring of, this is important to me in my life, and I need these things that match where I'm at spiritually right now. And it could look very different, 10 years from now or 10 years before now, but that's being in the flow,
Mm-hmm.
having exactly what you need for how you need to operate now, not thinking, oh, I'm going to hang on to that box because I might use it someday. But 20 years later, you're still hanging on to it. And it's like, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, it's taking up space in your joy.
Wow. All right, we're all going to go and clean up our houses. No, that's a really good point. It really is. And that's why we've heard for many years now, streamline, clear it out, release what we no longer want. Really good points. Thank you. Abundance will flow. More will come in when that happens. And so really, then it is okay to regift. It really is. And I know that that could be a belief system that's out in the collective, that it's bad. Like, what do we do if you get a gift that you gave? Well,
It,
maybe you wanted to, maybe because if we, maybe we do want it, because if we love something to give it to another person, maybe we would like it back. I'm just saying, if someone accidentally regifts you something that you gave them,
right.
receive it and accept it, because maybe you really wanted that yourself.
Yeah,
I,
and there's that flow of time too, that you didn't need it then. They've used it for a while and they re-gift it back to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I do need this now,
yeah.
right? Yeah. It's working from the higher self, right? Intuiting what you need and then letting go of what no longer serves you, and being able to say goodbye. And yeah, like there's lots of people out there that would probably be very joyful to have it.
Yes, all right. That is really good advice, words of wisdom from you, Carla. Thank you so much for this. So as we say goodbye, I would like to, let's see, ask you for any final thoughts on this really important topic of stepping into our abundance.
Oh, okay. Anything at all. Um, it's okay to put yourself first, and really look inside yourself, and what makes you happy. What would your day look like if you had complete freedom, right, to do anything you wanted? What would that look like? That's your abundant life. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And with that, we are complete as we go and contemplate that. That's a beautiful mindset to contemplate and reach into and become. Again, this is about embodiment as well. And we are here to bring joy to our souls, to be joy, to radiate love. And that's a beautiful place to be. Love yourself first. Take care of yourself first. Pay yourself first as well.
Yeah.
Carla, thank you so much for being here. We are delighted and we are feeling abundant and joyful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Just wonderful to talk with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Keep up the good work, and we'll
Thank,
keep watching as you grow and expand as well with music medicine. Thank you.
thank you.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.